to discuss is their learning style, or, in other words, how different students are able to comprehend or digest information. Your students are made up of visual learners, auditory learners, and kinesthetic learners. Visual learners learn better when they see content, such as pictures, videos, maps, or diagrams. Auditory learners are the ones who soak up what they hear, and they do very well with lectures, audiobooks, songs, and so forth. Also, those are the ones who most often listen to podcasts. And then there are kinesthetic learners. This group is a little bit challenging because seeing and hearing just don't do it for them. They're the ones who have to get up and do. These students need to be actually physically doing something. The hands-on activities were created for them. They need to take notes, ask questions, role play, or act something out, create something or move around. This is how they absorb the information. And I know we all know this already, but how are we at implementing? Are you mindful of this when you're planning your lessons? Okay, let's go further and dig a little bit deeper. Thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. Being a teacher is tough. Sure, it's one of the most rewarding jobs you could possibly have, but more often than not, you're overworked, underpaid, not to mention the stress and pressure coming at you from every direction, from keeping your students on track, satisfying the administration with your performance, and of course parents telling you that you need to pay more attention to their kid, because you don't have 20 other kids in your class. Sometimes you just need to turn it all off and talk to someone, don't you? Well, let me introduce you to BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Use the link betterhelp.com/legendaryeducator to get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/legendaryeducator. Check out BetterHelp today. You deserve it. Similar to learning styles, there are the multiple intelligences. And this is where things get really interesting. This is how different students learn or acquire information. The tragedy of the traditional school system and formal testing is that they usually only cater to a couple of these intelligences. I'll let you figure out which ones. The original list used to have 6 types of intelligences, but today we're up to 9. Number 1, logical intelligence. Being able to analyze problems logically and solve abstract problems. These are the students who are gifted at math and can easily understand and solve math problems. A math teacher's best friend. Number 2, linguistic intelligence. Being capable of learning new languages and understanding how to use language to achieve goals. An example of this would be analyzing passages or preparing a speech to deliver in front of a group. A language teacher's best friend. Number 3, spatial intelligence. Being able to use visual aids to arrive at a solution, also known as the visual learner. These students are good at visualizing and designing, are future architects and engineers, and an art teacher's best friend. Number 4, kinesthetic intelligence. Being capable of using the entire body and engaging in movement to skillfully address a challenge. These students need to be moving and using their body, such as role-playing or demonstrating something. This is the best friend of the PE teacher and the drama teacher. Number 5, interpersonal intelligence, also known as the people person. Being able to detect and explore the intentions, moods, and desires of others. These are the students who are naturally good with people, the student council supervisor's best friend. Also, our future salespeople or politicians. Number 6, intrapersonal intelligence. Being able to fully understand oneself and to effectively regulate one's own life and emotions. The emotional, often quiet student who really understands themselves and is able to reflect on their ideas and goals. To be honest, I'm not sure which teacher's best friend this student would be, so if you know, please leave me a note somewhere. Number 7, naturalist intelligence. This is the outdoorsy type, being able to recognize and classify the various plants and environmental species in one's surrounding. This student is a lover of nature and has a natural inclination towards the natural world and the outdoors. The science teacher's best friend. Number 8, Existential Intelligence. This is the student who comes up with the best questions and often has some of the deepest things to say, being able to ask deep and critical questions about the broader human experience. The philosophy teacher's best friend. And finally, Musical Intelligence. I left this one till the end because this one really hits home for me, because it turned out that that's the kind of learner I was when I was a student. Being able to produce and analyze pitch, rhythm, and sound. This is the student who is good with music and sound. For example, you can ask this student to, say, produce and edit a podcast episode or write a song showcasing their learning from a course. The music teacher's best friend. I'm going to use myself as an example to highlight the importance of the different intelligences I just went through. Back when I was a student, the idea of students learning differently or multiple intelligences was given very little attention, if any. And like I said, evidence of this is clear in traditional schooling and formal tests. So students were either smart or they needed to make a little bit more of an effort. I was never really a numbers guy, nor did I like to read much. But when there was a task, activity, or a project that involved music, I was all over it. If you remember from the last episode, some of my favorite memories from when I was a student involved music, like when I created a video about jazz music for The Great Gatsby in English, or band rehearsals. But I also just remembered a few others, like writing a poem about Shakespeare's Macbeth, which in my head was really lyrics to an awesome metal song, or taking a poem and putting music to it to make a song. So, long story short, turns out I had musical intelligence that wasn't really harvested enough when I was a student. But hey, now I've got a podcast, right? So things have come full circle. So what's the point of all this? So what? The point is, one size doesn't fit all. Your lecture, textbooks, and slides are insufficient tools to reach maximum learning. Any lesson that is not well thought out will only cater to a portion of your class, leaving many students in the dark. And a student who doesn't understand becomes bored and frustrated, leading to negative behavior in the class. When creating a lesson, you must have all of your students in mind, with their different backgrounds, different worldviews, and most importantly, different abilities and different learning styles, so that every student in your class has a fair chance to learn.